Analyzing Bitcoin surge, political speculation, or market manipulation. That's exactly what we're going to climb into here today, guys. Good morning. Hope everybody's having a fantastic week. Price action has certainly been good for bulls. And, well, there's a lot of speculation over why we're seeing this move. A lot of chatter among the crypto bros right now with speculation that Bitcoin's price surge is tied to predictions of Trump winning the election. I'm going to pause on that for a second. Let's just put let's just put the politics aside and look at this from a Bitcoin analyst's perspective. Whether you consider me an analyst or not, doesn't matter. I'm probably not a very good one. Whatever the point, whatever the case is, we're going to look at what's really what I believe is really driving this move, and I just think that the political argument at this stage is a narrative that's probably more hype than reality. Regardless of what you believe, I believe it's better to focus on the fundamentals and the technicals and the charts to make my decisions rather than blind speculation over something that nobody really knows the answer to at this stage in the game. So in this analysis, we're going to steer clear of the political debates, and we're going to focus just on those things that I said: the fundamentals, the technicals, and the order book and order flow data in FireCharts, which I think you're going to find very interesting here today. Before we climb in, number one, if you're interested in any of the products that I share, any of the charts and tools like FireCharts, be sure and check them out at materialindicators.com. I'll have a link down in the description. Also, if you like the streams, do me a favor and smash all the buttons, especially the subscribe button, that little bell up there in the corner. Tick that little bell so you never miss any of the future streams as they come out. And with that, I think we can go ahead and just dive into the charts. So let's do just that. And we can start today. I think interesting to see what has been happening here really across the board in the market. Obviously, we know the price has been elevated, working its way up here these past few days, especially. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. So the first thing I want to focus on, as I said in the lead in, is on the fundamental side. And I think that the fundamentals remain as strong as they have ever been. In fact, maybe even a little stronger, at least if you base things on what is happening here with the ETFs. Not sure when that just went away, but if you base things on how things are going with the ETFs, just this week alone, it's like, I don't know, like almost 2 billion in inflows for the ETFs. That's huge. That's a big deal. And that's obviously driving some demand on spot price. And we're seeing that, in reality here as we look at the candle chart. Something else that obviously is bullish to me is the fact that we are now printing consecutive candles above the key moving averages. That's the case here on the daily chart. It's also the case on the weekly chart. As you can see, we started out here just above this 21-week moving average. We did have a little bit of a wick on that first day, but so far looking at a nice 8% climb since then. This mid-cycle top coming into play here, also really significant in my opinion, because it's showing some strength. And as I said the other day, I think it's better that we consolidate here above this and work our way into the next levels rather than go for a just, massive celery stick out of here. I think consolidation is more sustainable than these straight line moves. We may or may not get that, but that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking for. So keep that in mind here. Going to go back to the daily here for a second. So in terms of where we could go in terms of what the fundamentals are showing me is, sure, let's consolidate up here and, hopefully make it above this 2021 top. 69K has been just really a difficult spot to break for a long, long time, since back in March. Numerous rejections from that level. We ultimately have to get our way up there. And so now we are looking at a series of higher lows from our last wick down here to 49.5-ish, depending on what exchange you're on. Then we have this double bottom here at the 54K level. And so this is our first higher low. This is our first series of higher highs starting to develop off of that low. But we've got to go after ultimately, and take out these higher highs up here, like 71.9K, and then ultimately going after the all-time high. Whether or not that happens before the election or not remains to be seen. I originally was thinking that, hey, it's probably not going to happen, but you know, seeing the price action we're seeing right now, you have to question it. So again, rather than speculate, I choose to look at the charts. Crackdown 148 has a question. How come price keeps going up while spot has been selling since 65K, both on Coinbase and Binance? Well, I'm about to show you that. Crackdown. Great question. And I would tell you it's not, in my opinion, due to speculation that that one political candidate or the other has an advantage here at this stage. I think it's because of what we're seeing in the order book. And a look at FireCharts is going to make that abundantly clear. This is the weekly chart. Let me add some contrast here with the volume percentile filter. Got to refresh that. And show you what I'm seeing as keeping, that's helping keep price elevated here. I may have lost my connection. Let's see if this rejoins for us here in a second. In the meantime, let's go back to this chart here, and I'll tell you, in a second, show you that on the on FireCharts. But back to what I was saying about working our way out of here. If things do break down, then I'm looking to these prior levels on this RS flip, right? So we wanted to RS flip the moving averages. We see a beautiful golden cross here between the 21 and the 200-day moving average. That's very positive, of course. We have, for the moment, seem to have RS flipped those. We seem to have be RS flipping this mid-cycle top on the daily time frame. On the weekly, however, as I mentioned, we did have that wick below, and we haven't yet seen this RS flip confirmed. Going to take another week for that to happen because we did have this wick down below that. If things do break down, then I do look again to these key moving averages here. The 21, depending on what time frame you're looking at, the 21 week and the 200-day are all kind of in a pretty tight cluster. If we lose that, I would look to the 50-week, which, as you can see, has served as good support to start printing these higher lows. And if you lose that, then we go to the trend line and so on and so forth, potentially down to the 200-week moving average if things really get nasty. Now to FireCharts. As I was saying, we have a situation here where you can see these blocks of bid liquidity moving. I call this, some people call this manipulation. I call it choreographed moves. It's somebody with a large stack using their liquidity to herd price. I call this liquidity herding, where they're pushing price in one direction or the other. And you can see that these have no intention of getting filled, right? They go down, they come up, they go up again, they come down, they go up again. And price reacts to that movement, right? It's algo driven, I imagine. But you can see what's happening here. That purple whales especially are playing this liquidity, right? They're playing these moves. They're using it as an opportunity to buy these little dips, and they are selling the rips. So that doesn't necessarily mean that we're moving to a distribution mode. It just means that there's people trading this volatility, and they're trading on the blind speculation of others and hopium that a lot of people think things are just going to keep pumping. They very well might, right? I mean, we're seeing things on the technical side that look good. When we were analyzing all the death crosses that we had on the daily, up around here, we said we were looking for a double bottom to get us out of here, and then ultimately golden crosses on the lower moving averages, and we're getting those, right? So those are positive things that point to the move that we're seeing, right? This is technical, and this is doing exactly what it should be doing based on the technicals and based on the historical data that we had seen with prior death crosses, similar to the clusters of death crosses we had now. I did that analysis a long time ago. If you want to go check it out, you can do so on the YouTube channel. you will find it. Largest clusters in the order book. Crack down with another question. Largest clusters uh, in the order book are around 50K. Yes, still we have the most significant on the bid side, anyways, right? We have the most significant amount of bid liquidity down in that range. I'm going to zoom way out into a longer term chart and see if we can see any significant changes that may have um, any impact here in terms of kind of our zoomed out outlook. Gosh, my internet is just really choking today. Let's see. This is the 3-year view in FireCharts of the order book. And so you can see that we've got bids, down here all the way to the 38K level. There's only about 11 million down there. 50K level, not a huge amount, right? We're starting to see this move up. 50K level has about 18 million. And we do have some similar sized walls here at 55K and a bit more now at this 58K level. So actually 58K is a bit stronger than 50K, which is a positive. And 58 and similar size block at 60K. So that's promising in terms of price being elevated. You can see here also kind of double bottoms right here and price being elevated. So those are all net positives in my opinion in terms of the outlook. That kind of means, or at least suggests that that these levels are likely to hold at least here down to the this is the 50-day. Let's see what that is on the 50 on the weekly. So this basically indicates that we're likely to see things hold here in this red box, even if we get pullbacks of volatility. And there's plenty of time for volatility between now and the election for sure. What is he saying? That just makes you doubt any pump since there are no bids below support. No bid support below. Well, like I'm saying, this is an indication that we have we got some cowboys in the game who are moving price around, right? We see this. This isn't anything new, right? We see this from time to time. Sometimes we see it a lot. Sometimes we go periods without seeing a lot of this, and this is a period that we're starting to see it again. So be mindful of that. We see this a lot of times, often too, when we're breaking levels. So we do have significant bid support here at this 67.5K level, but as you mentioned, it's hard to trust because this could spoof at any time. A lot of liquidity overhead to get through this 70K level, a lot overhead to get through this level. So the fact that we are seeing things move up here is positive in terms of where the better stacks of liquidity are. You can see here pretty good here in this 58 to 60K range, but not a ton right here in the near range. But the fact that we have these little what are these 10, $11 million blocks? That one's 14 million. That's all it takes, honestly, to move the order book. So you see what's happening here, right? They're selling into this liquidity. They're selling into this to avoid the slippage. Let's see what this looks like on the daily time frame. Okay, they haven't hit this yet. Whether this holds or part of it spoofs, it looks like there's actually two entities in here. One was the 10.5 million, which is moving from here. You can see this is the exact same amount of bid liquidity that moved from, right? It's just moving, boom, boom, right? And that's keeping price elevated. And then somebody came in and added, a couple million to that to put it up in the 13 million level. Some of this may get filled. Some of it may get spoofed. So be conscious of that. That's not, so I'm not saying don't trade this. You can see when you see these moves, you can see how price reacts to it. I'm just saying, be careful, proceed with caution, know what your invalidations are, and you're in good shape. Keith, is that you? Are there any questions? Yes, it's me. Can't you see me in the flesh? Yes, it's me, man. But no, it's not me. Oh, I see. It's two questions. Is that you moving price? Sorry, it's not me moving price. I'm not that guy. My stack's not that big. I can come clean on that. I'm not the $10 million man pushing price around. If I was, we'd be in a lot better shape already. That's not how I play the game, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, I hope that gives you some perspective. You can see whales are literally selling into this, so be mindful of that as you position yourself, and don't listen. Don't fall victim to the blind speculation. Uh, you know, is there a chance that we get the quote unquote Trump pump after the election? Absolutely, there's a chance of that. Regardless of who wins the election, I think we're going to see a knee jerk reaction to price, uh, uh, in the short term, and then things are going to stabilize, and Bitcoin's going to continue to do, um, you know, exactly what it was intended to do all along. Let's see. Probably wouldn't be doing this show every damn day if you were moving price with $10 million bids. That is correct. That is correct. I would not be doing that. You know what? If I had the ability to move price every day with $10 million bids, you'd probably never see me again. So we can wrap it right there, guys. Hope everybody has a fantastic weekend doing something you love with the people you love. You've got some hard data here to help you make some decisions. Of course, nothing I share with you is advice, just my perspective on the market. Tax evasion front, maybe. Hey, that's a good point. For personal taxes, the extension deadline to file taxes was on the 15th of this month. So yes, that could have had some bearing on price. It wasn't because of a capital gains deadline on that day. Just a matter of people maybe trying to pump to get some cash out to pay those capital gains taxes from 2023. Going to wrap it right there, guys. Hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. And as always, trade safe, my friends.